Hello. I got Dogfish Head's 30-minute light IPA, which I didn't know existed until yesterday. It just came out. So I took this chance to probably get it fresh. The only time I'll ever get it fresh. So Dogfish Head does, of course, their 60-minute, 90-minute, and 120-minute IPAs where they boil the hops for that long, continually adding them in, which it's kind of a gimmicky thing. It doesn't really, like, the longer you boil the hops, the more bitterness and less flavor you get from them, but whatever. So with this one, they throw hops in continuously for 30 minutes. But it seems like it's different from the other minute series IPAs. This one's really pale. They advertise it as like tropical and stuff. More aromatic, less bitter. But I guess if you only boil the hops for 30 minutes, it's going to be less bitter. 95 calories, 3.6 carbs, 4% alcohol. It looks like it was canned January 15th, so that means it's about a month and a half in the can. So that's pretty fresh. I actually just had a little bit of 60-minute. So it'll be interesting to have this after that. Ooh, this glass. It's not super clean. It's weird, I just drank some water out of this, and it seems like sometimes when you drink water out of it, it makes it dirtier. I don't know. Probably this wasn't super clean. My dishwasher sometimes does a good job, doesn't. But you can see that it's got a little bit of haze, and it's quite pale. 60-minute has definitely a little bit of a pale amberish thing going on. Definitely more than this. Like, this looks even more pale in person. And head looks okay, but when you have bubbles on the bottom of the glass, that means it's not super clean and it can mess with the head, make it a little bit like fizzier. Like the bubbles are popping really loud and fast. I wonder if you can hear that. But I felt like getting a fresh sort of session IPA. Yeah, they don't call it even session IPA. That was the trend that came and went real fast, at least that label. Now light IPA, low calorie was what people want. So there you go. Yeah, it seems like it's totally different hops. Definitely some Citra, probably Citra and Mosaic in here. On their website, they didn't list any of the hops or like any of the ingredients actually. It just kind of smells like a session IPA. I mean, I guess maybe it's not as aromatic as some. There's a hint, maybe just a hint of caramel malt in there. Yeah, it smells like it uses the same Dogfish yeast and sort of fermentation profile. Just less bitter and less, probably newer hop varieties. Is there something buttery in there? I don't know. That would be bad if the first batch of this had diacetyl in it. Yeah, very low in bitterness. There's something kind of like metallic in there. I don't know, maybe it's okay. Pretty sweet and low in bitterness. Yeah, not that much like 60-minute, but you can tell it's the same brewery with the same process for the most part. And same yeast and fermentation temperature and stuff probably for the most part. I wish I had maybe more bitterness. And there's this metallic-y thing that almost seems like buttery popcorn thing. That's what diacetyl or a million, I don't know how you actually are supposed to say it, diacetyl. Seems like it might be in there, but also it's not really that noticeable. It's usually most noticeable in the nose, and I'm not really smelling it. Otherwise, this beer is very clean, very drinkable. A little bit of a spiciness in there. And I guess it's generically sort of tropical. I don't know, the nose is weird. It's kind of like musky. I'm just finding this to be, I mean, it's just slightly odd. Yeah, I think I'm very susceptible, or like I've really noticed diacetyl, and like it might be in such a small concentration that's barely really noticeable, and it doesn't really have much effect. Some people might not notice it. And I don't even know. I'm second guessing myself. It could be that they're using some kind of biscuity malt that kind of creates a little bit of a biscuity bready thing that has a little bit of a buttery type thing to it, but I'm talking too much about it, I think. Yeah, this is definitely a crusher type IPA. It's better. It's better than non-alcoholic IPAs. I had one that was 3%. It was a really hazy 3% IPA that when I first got it and it was like a week fresh, it was not bad. I could tell it wasn't very well done, and then now it's like close to a month old, and it reminds me of non-alcoholic beers. This one does not. Has a little bit of that iced tea thing, a little bit, but doesn't have the unfermented malt thing going on. It's pretty good carbonation. Definitely feel like I have to burp right now. I won't do it on camera. But yeah, I don't know. I got a 12-pack of this on a whim, and it'll be very easy to drink. It's if you want something that you can crush, that's what this is. But I'll probably never get it again. I think 60 minute is actually a lot better. 60 minutes is a pretty decent IPA, even if it's like not super fresh. It's still quite good. But 30 minute, I pass on it. This is like a 3.5 or something. Bye.